Hello, this is Jason Wong. I'm the realtor broker here in the state of Hawaii. Today, this segment, I want to talk about new construction, especially in Kakako and Alamona area. I don't want to kind of name any or endorse any tower or developer here in my segment. First and foremost, I don't they I'm not looking for sponsorship or anything. My channel, I try to intend to put it in my own personal opinion and stuff that I observe and I want to share here with people like you. So ever since we have that hard rail project, that white elephant, in the city, um, to be honest, mixed feeling with that rail. I think it's nice to have it because a lot of metropolitan tourists, high density city in the world, having a rapid system from airport to the downtown or business district is necessary, because it really ease down the congestion. But this hardware don't go to Waikiki, or it doesn't even go to the University of Hawaii. I know they are saying about it, but they don't even have the money to kind of continue the project. So anyway, I'm not trying to get my segment to be too political, talking about who is right, who is wrong. I think all the parties they do certain things have their own reason. But what I try to say here is the Kaka'ako and Alamona, because of the rail, there are lots of zoning variants being approved by the city and county of Honolulu, for them to kind of like to build high rise, high density, high rise in some of the traditional land parcel that won't allow for that kind of height. And the funny thing here is we don't even know how the station will be located in Alamon especially, but we already have seen a lot of land parcel got these variants passed and developers start building these mega high rises with 400 or even 500 units. Okay, so you can imagine how dense it will be. My concern is always about the underground infrastructure. Okay, you can build many condos or many things, and also the traffic network. If anybody have driven around Alamon or Kakako area, you know about there's only a few main roads to kind of connect to inbound and outbound traffic. And imagine you have too many of these 500 units tower being built around this road. Think about a garage, how many cars going in and out, how many it's just about the traffic study. I don't think they have mentioned it in anything that they do. I think they are more focusing on maybe is affordable housing or reserve housing, but nobody really pay attention about the traffic study. To me, I think the traffic in town is getting really bad during yeah, unless people like me, I'm an early riser, I am an early bird. I got up really early, so I will do my grocery really early in the morning. Then I don't have traffic issue. But a lot of my friends, they are not early bird like me, and they all suffer from all these in-town traffic. You have a lot of tourist traffic, you have a lot of local traffic, and you have a lot of residents who is going in and out of these condos. And the thing is, we haven't seen the worst yet. The worst will be coming soon because there are a lot of towers are under construction right now, and there are a few are being proposed or they have already approved, but they just haven't started work. So let's imagine you suddenly have 3,000 to 5,000 more of these condo units, and I'm talking about maybe not everything is fully occupied, and not all the units have two parking or two cars. But again, it's a number games. Okay, once you add up one unit or one store or one car will add up more congestion in town. And in no way I have heard about there will be any alternative plan about improve the road network. Just making certain road to be one way may not solve the problem. Like downtown Honolulu, uh, I do believe it doesn't really need to have so many one-way street. Some of them should be a two-way street, and also they should have more meter parking, because there's a lot of small merchant. They really depends on these customer who park on the sidewalk and then come in, buy something, and then take away with them. And by kind of eliminating all those meter parking in downtown, I also think it's really hurting small business owner. And Hawaii is majority of the business are kind of like driven by this small business owner. So if this small business owner cannot kind of like make a profit, then what other options can they have? It's shut down and then move out from Hawaii, you know. And it's kind of sad, because when I was here 2008, I actually have seen a lot of good restaurant owner, interesting business and offering around Ala Moana, Kakako, and downtown. But after a couple of years of struggling of these business owners, they all shut down, they lost a lot of money, and they left. And after they left, then we kind of stuck with about the what I call the line shares chain owner, okay, who kind of run the show here in the in Oahu. And it also turns into a very limited options as a resident living in this island, what you can buy and what you can do. So in terms for the high-rise construction in Ala Moana and Kaka'ako, definitely we have a shortage of housing for people. But the problem is the pricing. Even for those reserve housing, affordable housing, or rental apartment, we just don't have enough of those. And even if we have some of them and they're still selling, sometimes the requirement is a bit tough to meet, especially if it is a husband and a wife, they're working together, and sometimes the income may be a little bit over or under or whatsoever. And the way how they get qualified for getting a unit also is kind of difficult. It's not like you're qualified and you can freely pick any unit that you like in the project. No, they actually have a very specific selection process, and the process usually will be a good unit already finished, already kind of like got on hold by other people, and what you left off with some leftover that you probably cannot justify yourself to own it. Like a couple to get a studio, you know, a couple getting a 500 square feet one bedroom, you know, it just doesn't make sense. So the thing is, yes, we have a lot of these new construction. And if for those what I call market price pre-construction, that's another thing. The price of those condo is really expensive. The place that I live right now in Oahu, I actually have a lot of professionals living in the same condos that I'm living here. They are doctors, attorney, accountant, dentists, you know. Even they said about right now, though, all those new construction, the price per square foot, everything, to them they cannot afford it, you know. They find it's really too over, you know, because the thing is, yes, they may be able to get a mortgage and buy out the unit eventually, but the rental, it's like they are subsidizing the tenants to live over there every month, instead of having the rental income to cover property tax, maintenance fee, and also the mortgage payment. They cannot. Like the price right now is really high, and we still have some investors that they believe there's a speculation activity can happen down the road. I think some of those investors, they learned the lesson. Just because one or two towers are a little bit special because they are started and also finished at a very unique time. There's not much competition during that time. Then of course some of them they pocket like maybe 500,000 gain or even more than millions dollars gain for that short amount of time. But in general, I think we have too much supply for that kind of so-called luxury product. You know, we really have a lot of those luxury product, And the thing is, so it's very different from Vancouver downtown during the time when I was an active realtor there. Developer in Vancouver during those time, and what I'm referring is 2004, 2005, before the Winter Olympic in Vancouver. They are very diverse, the portfolio. Same street, you have some condo that is catered for like a more like a, I mean, young professional, doesn't have to be very seasoned or very or high net worth, no. But they can afford to get a mortgage and kind of carry on with the income, or even if they want to sublet one room to their friend, they can do that. So it was a lot healthier, and of course, right now, Vancouver downtown market is a totally different beast, okay? Different beast of what I encountered back in 2004. Nowadays, Vancouver condos market is really insanely expensive, So I also find that is kind of like a overinflated in certain tower that I saw in Vancouver. Coming back to Honolulu, it's necessary to have developer to build different price point of a tower in the planning of pre-construction. It's not necessary about making it as a restricted housing, like a affordable housing, or have a restriction saying about, or you have to wait until 20 years later to resell, or 10 years later to resell. I just don't think that's a healthy approach. It should be something that is market value, but it's a sensible price tag. You don't have to get the top AAA land parcel at Ala Moana Boulevard. Okay, so that is kind of like killing the mission. But you can get something a little bit further down, which is maybe close by the highway entrance or exit. And if there's a sizable land over there, I think the tower should build over there, because after most of the local residents here, they commute by their own car. We have a bus system, but if anybody have taken the bus, depends on what route, it will take a long time because there's so many stops on the way. And also the traffic light in town always stop. They don't synchronize. That's another thing. I wish all the traffic light will be getting more synchronized to help out for the to ease out the congestion. Sometimes the traffic light is so frustrating for driver. Is the moment when you step on the gas pedal, the next light is totally red. How come they cannot make it green? Just let it go by. So Nimitz highway congestion more or less is about the traffic light. Like it's just it's, I don't know, the maybe the artificial intelligence embedded in the systems is not good enough to detect or change. And I think one thing that I really like in Europe is in Europe, certain highway, the speed limit will get adjusted. So if it is a super peak hours, the speed can adjust much higher. And the funny thing is, people thought about those highway may have more accident, but actually not really. Actually, most of the drivers, doesn't matter the age or the gender, they're a good driver. They know the rule. They know the fast lane is for car to pass, or for car that they really need to get going. Then the fast lane will be always open, and then slower car will always go to the slower lane. Here in Oahu, I think the most frustrating thing for us, especially for realtor, that we are always on the road, is we have to stuck with a tourist traffic who doesn't know the proper driving etiquette. And also some of the local, they just hogging on their fast lane while they are driving so slow, which is kind of frustrating, because the thing is, sometimes it's not being slow in the highway is safe. Actually, it's not very safe when you drive so slow in highway. You should kind of let go with the flow. And I actually hope that instead of like building the rail, we should have a double-decker highway system. So we should have one more level of highway instead of expanding it because of the limitation of the land. We should have another decker, And then we have a toll system, for people who are willing to pay maybe a monthly pass for them to kind of get in and out of town and then go back to their home. I think that way actually can ease more about the housing crisis that we have here. It's not about you need more houses or condos in Alamon or Kaka'ako. Rather, you should come up with a traffic network that can help the average resident to commute through the whole island. So all the island, all the region can get more like a sustainable development, like maybe having a townhouse, row houses, or subdivision, rather than just focusing on Alamon and Kaka'ako. So road network is one thing that I really concerned when the city has approved that many tower and also issued so many permit, and I start seeing a lot of issues coming out from having so many cars during peak hours. Second major thing is our underground utility, especially for the sewage system. Or if you have walked around in Honolulu, okay, this is one thing that I really miss in Vancouver. It's about the storm drainage in Vancouver. Vancouver rain a lot, so the underground drainage system is really nice. I miss it so much. It rain and it drain away. You don't really see flooding or waterfall effect on the road. Here in Hawaii, oh sorry, not Hawaii, Honolulu in town. I am amazed about like how easy for the whole road to get all the water flooding down like waterfall. Like it's just doesn't make any sense. There's no proper drainage system to kind of like get those water out. And if there are some system, then how come they don't expand it further, to make it better? And then another thing about is the sewage system. Imagine that many household, 5,000 household, flush the toilet, not at the same time, but they flush the toilet, they drink things from the kitchen sink. Those wastewater, I just don't know like the capacity. Right now already, sometimes you can smell it. You can at night you can smell in certain part in town you can smell that sewage, not backup but sewage things. And I don't know like once you have more tower, more wastewater being generated, how bad the situation or the brown water and things, how bad it is. And it's kind of like a common thing that you will see if we have a very heavy rainy season or heavy rainy days or weeks. Those dirty water, the brown water, may overspill to the pristine beach part. Okay, so sometimes we have report about they have to close down certain beaches because of they found too high concentration of E. coli culture here and there. So again, I think there are a lot of things that can be done proper in Alamon and Kaka'ako rather than just building real estate or construction. Even though it's good for me being a realtor, that more condo means more business because more unit will be end up being resell, and I probably will be picking up some of those resell or actually helping some of the investor to buy some of the pre-sale unit. But deep down, that doesn't look like too sustainable with too many tower in one session, while the money or the effort can be kind of spread out to the island, and to make it more sustainable. That's really one thing that I personally have no idea how come the urban study in Honolulu will be end up in this way. And speaking of Waikiki, that's another thing. It's another common knowledge. Waikiki, the sandy beach, the erosion is pretty severe. In the local news and the city, they always talk about they try to build a lot of barrier so that the erosion won't be happening that fast. But whether you believe global warming or whatnot, we do know that we are getting warmer sometimes. I know we also get very cold winter in certain region of the world, but overall the seawater is rising. I don't really care about its global warming effect or whatnot, but that's really happening. If you go to the museum, and look at those so-called oceanfront or oceanfront or beaches around the world, you can see what it used to be. It was so wide and long. But nowadays, if you go to those region again, you see the beach is so narrow and shallow. You don't really have that much sand, you know, and that's really what happened with Waikiki. Waikiki has this problem, and actually most of the oceanfront properties also have this problem. Is the sea level is rising, and homeowner is trying to find a different way to kind of like to build a barrier so that the if that's during high surf season, it won't kind of impact too much on the retaining wall. But as we know, Mother Nature has its own force. So the thing is, it's not 100% foolproof about all the effort that we do in Waikiki or on these oceanfront properties. So the thing is, and some of these Waikiki condos, they are still asking a lot of money, or more development are being built in Waikiki. That's another thing I don't really understand. I know it's a very attractive and beautiful tourist hotspot, but the erosion is happening faster than what I anticipated. Because 2008 until now, I actually certain part of the Waikiki, I was surprised about how much water has got up, got up to the inland. So so again, if you happens to be in Waikiki, make a mark in your mental note, and then X amount of years when you come back and look at Waikiki, then check with your mental notes and see what I'm saying is right. Okay, so by all means, thank you for watching my segment, and subscribe my channel. And if you have any comment, just leave it below, or if you want to send me a personal email, you're welcome to do so. Thank you.